Well, good afternoon everybody. Here is video number 2 in the Good Clean Chai bank of information. It is such a lovely day, so that's why I thought I would come out and record in the sunshine with my selfie stick. Apologies for wearing sunglasses, how impersonal of me, but I will literally be like this if I do not. So yeah, let's get started. Hope nobody walks past because they'll think I'm crazy. So I want to talk today about saturated fat. There is an article in the British Journal of Sports Nutrition, and this is the title: Saturated fat does not clog the arteries. Coronary heart disease is a chronic inflammatory condition, the risk of which can be effectively reduced from healthy lifestyle interventions. And I'll put a link to this study in the bottom here whenever you're finished. I think people still firmly believe that saturated fat is bad and that it clogs the arteries, cholesterol builds up, and then blockages occur and even a heart attack if left alone. This info has been around probably since the 80s, and it's firmly stayed in our minds. I'll not go into details why, but you can look up a guy called Ansel Keys. He did all the experiments regarding this, and that's how the whole thing started. But turns out his experiments were extremely flawed. But as I say, I'll not go into that now. You guys can do your own research. But I've got an analogy for you that I heard once. If you picture a piece of butter, throw it down a corridor, what you're going to get is a nice sort of slidey surface. Change that object to orange juice and you're going to get a sticky sort of substance. It's going to be tacky. It's not going to be a smooth corridor. I don't want this to turn into a sort of a sugar demonizing talk. We've all heard that before. However, we have to come to terms with the fact that naturally occurring saturated fat from either healthy animals or coconuts isn't bad for us. I mean, how could something so simplistic be worse for us than, say, something man-made like a vegetable oil spread? I'm not mentioning any names, but literally a spread that is made in a factory out of just ingredients and methods that are not natural. All I can say is it's potentially all about marketing, money making, advertising, and greed. We've got to look into the science. There's been a couple of articles recently with that same sort of headline where there is no association with saturated fat and heart disease. As it said in the title, inflammatory conditions is what exacerbates the problems. So a diet high in processed foods, stress, smoking, these are all sort of things that will cause inflammation in the body. And acute inflammation is fine. If you have an injury, it becomes inflamed, repair takes place, and that's fine. But it's whenever inflammation becomes chronic is when issues start to show up. So chronic, if you visualize chronic inflammation in the arteries, what happens is cholesterol goes to that point to help it. So it's almost like a sticking plaster going to the site of inflammation. And the reason why cholesterol was given a bad rep is because cholesterol builds up, but all cholesterol is trying to do is fix the inflammation to cool the heat, if you like. So if that inflammation never goes down, the cholesterol builds up and builds up and builds up, and that's how you get a blockage in the artery. So I think things can be changed quite easily if you're willing to look at what you're eating and how your lifestyle is, and forget old science. It's just not correct anymore, and we need to start tweaking things in order to make ourselves a little bit more healthy. So yeah, that is my thoughts on saturated fats. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, see you later.